You know, the last night that I had spins was this stupid trainer thing we did.
The beer mile?
Yeah.
You had
that was,
spins?
I was.
Oh, that
in
was
a
because
horrible
afterwards.
form. Yeah.
That wasn't the beer mile.
It was the continuing.
It was the fact that I bought a bottle of bourbon
post-function.
and I didn't drink it. And
you
guys,
just
it was gone.
cracked the seal and put it in front of us, and you were like,
No, I didn't put it in front of you.
know, I
You
went and
reached
found
around
it.
and grabbed it.
I was like, I know where Pat keeps the liquor.
It was right over your shoulder.
It's right next to the Skittles.
Great combination. Okay, let's do this. Before we begin, sponsor mentions, everybody. Cycle Systems Online. You know that is now that it is the off season, there's no better time to take care of your bike. That's right. Proper maintenance, upgrades, even major repairs can be made by you at home. Thanks to Cycle Systems Online, a full mechanics education course, everything from changing a tire to changing and building your own wheels, all at your own pace. Get to Pack Filler and check out the link to Cycle Systems Online today. Next off, Gooder Sunglasses. By the way, Gooder Sunglasses has a gift pack. It's like a gift exchange box. It's a huge box with 12 different pair in them that you can't see what they are, and you can open them up and grab a pair out, and you can do the okay, I'm next, but I'm going to pick a different pair and trade with you and stuff like that. Coolest thing. They also have like a nativity calendar. Not nativity. Advent calendar. Nativity
Come on,
calendar.
you Catholic.
Baby
Jeez.
Jesus has wayfarers.
Jesus.
But they're really cool stuff. Now that we're indoors, you're probably thinking there's no need for glasses. If you're like me with massive fans to keep you cool on the trainer, grab some low-cost, non-slip, lightweight, clear lenses from Gooder today. Keep your eyes from drying out. And use the link at Pack Filler. Check, and I think the code PackFiller15 is still good for your discount. Lastly, I'm going to make this one personable. Personable? I haven't read an ad copy in a while, and I am very poorly prepared. And personal. Come check out the store at PackFiller.com, you guys. Shirts, jerseys, socks, stickers, mugs, and more fun for your Black Friday shopping. Heck, you can even completely blow off shopping on Friday. Jump on the trainer and shop for all your cycling podcast family members in one place at packfiller.com. Because I'm sure your wife would love a Pack Filler mug.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mine would. Are those the swearing assholes that talk every Tuesday night?
Yeah. Better don't know shit.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I feel like my wife loves this podcast. Gets me out of the house for an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
What more could she ask for?
I know.
She's pulling full George Costanza and dancing around the house in her underwear with a brick of cheese.
Yeah.
Size of a car battery.
All right, don't panic just because those are the same sponsor reads at the top of the show. We are indeed back after our one of our 3 yearly weeks off. We do 50 shows a year, and 3 weeks a year we're off. We are here. We are live in the Rim Break Bar. It's Tuesday, and this is the Pack Filler Cycling Podcast.
There's 52
I don't
weeks.
think that
52.
Minus 3.
Yeah. Whoops.
That's 49.
your math is wrong.
So we're live 49.
So what's your FTP?
Shut the fuck up. I'm Pat Bulger, and I'm running the cameras tonight, so likely things are going to suck on that end on top of the math. Just a heads up. Let's see who's here on tonight's Thanksgiving special, shall we? Tonight's prologue question for the panel. We're going with the tradition, even though people overseas are going to be going like, what? What is your Thanksgiving pie preference? And it's the second part, what tradition do you hold on this holiday? So, if you had to pick a pie, second of all, tradition you keep on Thanksgiving. Something you do every year without call. Okay, so I'm going to guess your pie answers before you even do it, but as part of your introduction. If I were to guess his, I would say it'd automatically be a Kuchen, which I only know the word because I Googled German pies. Is Kuchen? Kuchen?
Yeah.
Kuchen.
Which is cake,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, let's have a Kuchen.
Kuchen. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Mr. Paul Main. I knew I'd fuck it up.
No, it was good. I mean,
There's two.
heart was in the right place.
Yeah, it was.
Your tongue wasn't. But,
So many jokes. So many jokes too early in the show.
He's drinking the pills.
I know. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let the games begin.
Yeah.
Paul, what's your pie preference and what
berry.
Thanksgiving tradition?
Any berry. I like Loganberry, Marionberry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love berry pie.
Okay. Whipped cream or ice cream?
Nah, just straight up.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Warm or
Not with
room
that.
temp?
If it's apple,
Yeah.
which I do like, that's a backup. Good apple pie, not sweet. I don't like it sweet.
Okay.
but then I'll have a la mode,
A la
and
mode.
sometimes with cheddar cheese. It's good.
You guys know what a la mode means in French?
On
It's
the
not
side?
with ice cream.
I know, but that's what we say.
I know. Isn't that the wildest?
Isn't it on the side?
No.
What is that?
I don't even remember, but it is nothing to do with anything food related.
Hey Siri. No, sorry, that's not Siri. That's my phone. Oh God, my phone where I'm streaming. Alexa, what does a la mode translate to?
Okay, but which language do you want me to translate?
Oh shit.
French.
French.
No, two. English.
A la mode in French is à la mode.
There we go.
Hey,
thank you.
mode. So I should have said English.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Alexa, what is a la mode in English?
I don't know that one.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
see?
not.
Yeah, see,
She doesn't even know it.
I
No.
blame Bezos.
it's a made-up name.
Yeah, there
No,
we go.
cheddar cheese then.
Cheddar cheese.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Apple
not
pie
that
and cheddar
weird.
cheese is
Yeah,
good.
It is. That's a good combo.
Next, if I were to guess his answer, I sure as hell wouldn't say mincemeat, Mr. Sam Wiggles.
It has to include marshmallows. I
Oh,
love marshmallows.
I have.
You're
God.
a
love them.
sugar.
I am a junkie. I'm a junkie
Marshmallows
when
are
it comes to sugar.
gross.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
They're the purest
Do you
form
like cotton
of...
candy too?
You know, actually, I haven't had it in so many years. I probably would love it. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay,
probably would.
what's your pie? Paul, what was your tradition? Did you have a tradition?
Storytelling. Our family tells stories after stories.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't
imagine?
give-
So unlike you.
And once I get the mic, no one gets another.
It's clearing out the next half an hour.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't give to
Land
be
this
at the
plane.
mains table. Like, you
Yeah.
just hear stories for like 6 hours.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so my favorite pie, I'm just going to say pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin.
But I mean, like, probably my favorite dessert, what I will just eat endless, is the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows. And that's honestly, that's dessert. Oh, I love it.
It's supposed to be an entree, but I just
It's
I just
dessert.
picked up the things for Danielle to make it. 16 sticks of butter,
Yes.
evaporated milk, and sweetened condensed milk,
Yep.
and heavy cream,
Yep.
And brown sugar.
and little marshmallows.
And then
brown
marshmallows.
sugar. Yeah, these were just the things
It's
I picked
sugar.
up. We've
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
sugar. Yeah. It's
that
literally
not-
not an entree.
No, I know. That's
So
what I'm saying.
gross.
Like, that would be my dessert.
So gross.
And I'll eat so much of it.
What's your tradition?
Eating so much. Like, that is seriously my tradition. Is every year I'm like, no, I'm going to control myself this year.
No.
And then I get like to my third plate and I'm like, it doesn't even matter.
You
anymore.
full on food coma? It's
Full
like
on.
I gotta take a nap.
Yeah, and this guy's
Yeah.
passed out on the floor over there every time.
Yeah.
Okay, this I'm glad to know this. And third, if I were to guess, he'd be the guy who would say cheesecake is a pie. Mr. David Whipple.
It's just clueless.
Okay, I guess I could see that. I could
Cheesecake
see,
is a cake. We can all agree that,
Yeah,
even though it
yes.
does have a crust.
I could see it as a pie.
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
See, I knew it.
Yeah. I could see that.
It's a cake.
No,
a
it's
tort.
cake.
It's the name cake.
It's
in
a
it.
tort.
Yeah.
It's
Is
a.
it?
It's,
Is it
that
tort?
would be a
I mean,
tort.
but
Okay, I
cake can
get it.
have bready. Cake is
Are we sure
bready.
it's not a kuchen?
Kuchen?
Vegan.
Keegan. David. So is yours the same as your brother's?
No,
Your-
mine's apple pie.
your, apple.
I've
Okay.
always loved apple pie more than everything else. So maybe a la mode, which I looked it up. It means fashionable.
See, that's okay.
Oh.
So,
that makes sense.
but
There
that's
we
not.
go.
No, it's not fashion.
No, it's very fashionable to have ice cream with your pie.
Oh,
Yes, very fashionable.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Saw some French guy having with ice cream with his
Yeah.
pie.
Oh, it's fashion.
Alamo.
Oh.
It tasted Alamo.
Look at him. He is so
And like,
He puts his socks over his leg warmers. He is so aluminium.
I get that. Yeah.
What's
Well,
your tradition?
I
You
think it's
eating-
the same as Sam. Sorry,
Yeah.
I drank this beer too quick. I was noticing that you were pretty far behind, but anyways. So
nice kind of go.
I gotta. Boy, this is gonna go.
yeah,
Jackson, come
back. Mine's kind of the same as Sam's. I always eat until I'm on the floor, and then
You
there's
do.
like I fall asleep on the hardwood floor next to the table
Truly.
every single year.
No,
yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
And then you'll just see Waples eat floor.
I used to feel
And
bad
then
about
you
it.
see one get back up and the other one goes down.
I
But
used
it's like, and then we get back up and I'm like, yeah, okay.
On hardwood floors.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Do you think it's
better
the
for digestion.
tofu turkey that's
Yeah, the
knocking you out?
tofurkey you're eating.
Tofurkey. This has been forever since we used to do prime rib and everything. So
Prime rib.
yeah.
What do
That's
you
the
guys
best
do?
Thanksgiving dinner.
What do you guys do?
I think we're doing like
Chickenless Popeyes is the
Yeah.
main course.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know. That I will
It's
give
all
you.
about the
that's- yeah.
sides.
It's
Come
all
on,
about the sides.
The
Who
turkey's
cares?
the least important part.
That's
Yeah.
why I have prime rib.
I'm
That's a
cooking
great
the turkey.
side.
Yeah.
I'm cooking the turkey, and I think I mentioned on the show
you
last year how
brining
big
the
of a
turkey?
train. Yeah, I'm dry brining it.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, but I'm in charge of turkey this year, and everybody probably recalls last year that I made like a 23-pound bird because I thought all these people were coming, and it was shit. It was flavorless. It was dry. It was absolute garbage. And
It was turkey.
Did you cut it open and it just go? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I heard the ghost of the bird just like going, you! As it went up into the sky. Oh, me, I'm just going to say it because I know my answer. Pumpkin with enough whipped cream to cause diabetes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, who puts sugar in your? No, you just get whipped cream in the.
In the can.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No,
You,
yeah.
Then you
CO2.
shoot in the mouth a couple times.
Don't you have like what you do with coffee? It's the same thing. You just pour whipped cream in one of those CO2 dispensers.
Yeah, I
You
don't have
just
one of those.
like heavy cream,
Yeah, yeah.
and you
most
put
people
CO2
add
in there.
powdered sugar and like.
I don't have one of those.
No,
But I know, but most people do.
I don't have one of those. I can go to the store and buy one of the cans of
Which
like
is
Ready
like-
Whip.
With a list of ingredients, it's half the side of the can.
Yeah.
It's better than Cool Whip. Cool Whip's
5
like
different
vegetable
types.
oil.
It's not even oil.
It's like
it's
whip-
chemicals.
Yeah, it's
a
just
chemical
nasty
Oh
shit.
reaction.
man.
Yeah. My tradition is that right after Thanksgiving dinner, first of all, you can listen to Christmas music, and second of all, we watch Christmas Vacation, the Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Every
Wow.
year. Every year is a
Love
tradition.
that.
Yeah.
Every year.
Planes, trains, and automobiles here.
That's a great Thanksgiving movie. But yeah, I Christmas officially starts. That season starts after Thanksgiving's over. Jackson isn't here, but I would say he's a cherry pie guy with a ton of whipped cream. Jackson's got modules to do, which I just think he's just he's playing video games.
Probably.
I gotta
I
be
have
honest,
seen Proud Annie.
Cherry
earlier,
pie is the
Proud
worst
Annie.
pie.
It is.
Oh,
terrible.
take that back! I love cherry pie.
No.
No, cherry pies. I've had
Gross.
one good cherry pie. And it's because Danielle cut all the cherries into like 8 pieces. Because the
Oh
worst
my
part is you
God,
get all
you're a
those,
high
like,
maintenance diva.
the weird texture.
Yeah.
And she
It's
mitigated
terrible.
it by like
And then she coated it in a ton of sugar.
a ton
Well,
of
that's all pie.
yeah.
Yeah, but apples you can just eat.
You guys know that this is a show about cycling.
Oh,
No.
What are we?
Wow.
No.
Yeah,
I thought it was about beer.
it should be.
Bourbon.
And how slowly
And
you
food.
drink.
Yeah. Well, I personally know that I'm going to be the worst answer to the following question, but how's everybody's cycling life going these days? Over the
Wonderful.
past 2 weeks. We haven't been together for 2 weeks. Sam, you're starting with wonderful.
Yeah. I'm
Doesn't
staying-
count.
I'm
I
just
didn't
staying
say
to
the word.
course. I'm going to keep
All right.
it short and simple. I've had many temptations to go outside and ride, but I'm just like, hey, this is what I've committed to. I was faster last year because of just doing these simple rides,
Yeah.
and it's given me a lot of time to do other stuff.
And when you say simple rides,
They're like an hour, maybe an hour and a half at most on a Saturday.
yeah,
Yeah.
intensity or
Yeah, intervals.
yeah.
Yep. But, I mean, my FTP is higher than it was last spring, and so, yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Because I'm depressed now.
I'm gonna
Drive the steak
can I
in,
go?
David.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive it in. Can I go back 3 weeks though? Because I unfortunately was absent.
You
And
And where were you?
you were in
prior
Moab.
to that, I was in Moab, and I had some epic rides. Particularly the last one we did was the White Rim in one day. So it's a 100-mile mountain bike ride, and that was pretty sweet.
You-
That was
You and your wife did that?
no. That
Oh.
was actually a high school friend who it was on his bucket list, so we did that. I and my wife flew home.
Smart
And-
girl.
She's like, I'm
Yeah,
out.
no
This is
doubt.
stupid.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. It
Wow.
was, yeah, because there's nothing out there.
No.
Except random barrels of water.
Oh, I
on-
found a gallon of water somebody left for the desperate cyclist.
You sure it wasn't your?
Really?
No, but I
Okay.
drank it.
Yeah. It's okay. It's
I put a bunch of scratch in it, so
Okay.
yeah, you couldn't really taste it.
Lemonade.
And then when I got back, I was like, "This weather."
That's the weirdest sponsor mention I've had all so far.
When I got back, I was like, "This weather sucks."
Yeah.
and I didn't know what to do, so I finally set the trainer up and I signed up for Trainer Road. And I'm kind of with Sam. It's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Like it's been getting me on the trainer 5 days a week. and I've been doing an hour.
Yeah, he's killing
More
it.
than I've ever done because it's fun. Like following the little line. And I watch like James Bond and like.
That's it. Like, I don't want any of the distractions.
No, I just want to follow a line.
We're gonna talk about some of this stuff
Yeah.
here as we get going. Paul, you just drive it.
Yeah, I've been doing at least 2, 3, but I'm not very good at this structural thing that I set up
Really?
for systems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not either. Yeah.
So it's like because life gets in the way, and it's like, okay, I'll do it in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
that's part of the problem.
yeah.
I did because we got, if you were with RGT, they gave you 3 months free of Zwift, and I did that twice. And I think I'd rather take a hot poker up my butt than do that. That is the dumb. I can't get in. And I kept saying, at least do this.
This segment brought to you by Zwift.
And by the time the
I'm
second
with them.
ride, I'm like, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Going through a volcano.
really
I mean,
gamey.
none of this is like. It's like I don't
sensory
even want to
overload.
look at it.
It's
I
too
don't.
much.
Yeah.
If
It's
I
just
think
way
about
too-
Zwift, I don't want to ride.
No.
Really?
I hate Zwift. Like, it
Okay.
ruined it.
I got
already.
to get to this.
But
I
I will
But, yeah.
say this: you introduced me to something else, and when
We're
we
gonna get to that.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay,
get to that.
okay.
Okay.
I will
I
expand.
have been on the bike once in the last 2 weeks.
But you've been busy.
I have been busy. It's been an absolute insane time of year for me, and it kind of is through to February. But I'll get a little bit more time between now and February. My first time on the bike was Sunday, and I got on, and I had a system set up training plan that I was supposed to be doing, but obviously I haven't done it in 2 weeks. And I got on and did the workout that it had set up for me. And I realized I've got to retest my whole FTP because I have lost some fitness in the last probably 4 weeks. And hitting the numbers that I was supposed to hit, I was like, I'm not going to finish this workout doing this, and so I had to reset. And I'll probably do an FTP test this weekend.
Well, I think also if you're doing the math, kind of like you were earlier in this podcast, that your FTP might actually be a little lower
Yeah,
than your.
that's what we're thinking.
Because
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I know that. Is my glance telling you to eat shit?
Your
If not,
glance? Oh,
my glance, my
Okay,
look
that's
at it.
two different things. There.
God, I missed you guys.
No.
Why do you do this?
Yeah. So I'd probably need to reset that stuff and get dialed on. So my FTP, which was 320,
If.
but but now it's probably like 220. So no, I gotta reset and just get dialed in and probably just start the program back up again. And which means basically canceling the training plan I'm on now and just starting, at square one and go from there. So speaking of which, I know Sam is on Trainer Road. I know Paul is a system guy. Was Paul has dropped system. David is now a Trainer Roader. I don't have anything against Trainer Road. I was a Trainer Road fan in the early 2000. I'm serious.
Oh yeah, no.
Back when the Sufferfest was still doing the Sufferfest, they were working in partnership with Trainer Road, and they would take their videos, and Trainer Road would create a specific workout so you could follow the lines with their workouts because it was all, perceived rate of
PRE.
PRE at that time with Sufferfest, and then they partnered with Trainer Road, and then eventually took the technology and made it themselves. So, and that's how that whole thing goes. And so to hear that Trainer Road is still a thing is kind of like awesome, good on them. I mean, it's a good platform, especially if you don't need that, that background incentive, that all kinds of stuff. I am too. Also, a 3-month Zwift plan that was free from our friends at System because they closed our GT. I'm not sure other than that. And I did bring up the fact that an ad came across, and this is completely unsolicited in terms of our podcast, but it is obviously a very effective solicitation of, is it Rouvy? R-O-U-V-Y. Rouvy.
Sounds right.
Rovi. And I perused their site. It looks like what RGT had to offer in terms of kind of real places, and I put that into quotation marks, real locations. but this is more real, and includes actual footage of these places that you choose to ride. It also looks like RGT, though, in terms of lack of a larger community. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people on there. Paul, you had the opportunity to give it a shot.
Yeah, I did today.
And what's your initial
Absolutely
thoughts?
loved it. You still have an avatar, and you can choose to have like these bots kind of follow you and stuff, and they kind of they're at different, set at different watts per kilogram and stuff. And I did. I'm gonna butcher the German name. It's Bigazee.
Oh, okay.
And Biggessee. So it's a
Biggie
lake.
Biggie C. Biggie C.
A is E is A sound.
It's the rapper, the old
Say.
dead rapper. It's like, what'd you see, Biggie? Biggie, see that?
Oh my god. So anyway, I did that, and actually, it was a great punchy climb. The stuff that gets your heart rate. One of the things that I did like about System was the hooligan people that you followed around.
Yeah.
I do not like structure where you're on. I was talking earlier in the green room where you have to follow the lines. I hate that because all I'm doing is focusing on, making sure I'm on that, and then I'm like, I got 5 more jumps.
Now.
Yeah.
So you just said it
Yeah,
on Ergo.
erg, but even on erg, the thing is like my cadence drops, and I have to bring that up, and
But that's all you should have to worry about is just worry about keeping your cadence at what you want.
I know,
The
and I
resistance
hate
gets
it.
Harder. Oh,
He wants
I
to ride like he's on
absolutely
his
hate
road
it, yeah.
bike.
And
He
I
wants
don't
to
do that. I don't do that on a road on the road. No one rides like that
I do.
on the road.
You just
There's
keep
no
the
way.
same cadence everywhere.
Yeah,
You
you
just
watch
go.
follow
my
the
cadence.
lines.
Really?
Yeah.
You're one of the few.
Watch me when I'm riding. When I'm like 85, 90 the whole time.
I'm always at 80. That's what mine was anyway when I
that.
do.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
No,
I
when I
think-
go
I
uphill,
think
it's
you're
like 30.
60.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
But anyway, just to recap, I did 45 minutes on it and absolutely enjoyed it.
really?
And then as I'm dripping sweat, they have all these different routes. Not worlds, not these fucking worlds that you go to.
That's
Gonna
one.
go to this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But routes, and I found some in Flanders and some in Germany, the places I've been, and Prague, and I'm like, these are sceneries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually see cars coming by when they've been filming,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, "Jeez, they're gonna hit me."
It's live footage. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
real
it
footage.
is. Really cool.
I'm just curious. Like, if you're going up a climb, if I had an erg mode, would it make it
Yep.
more difficult?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
yeah,
cool.
it matches what is. It goes up. It has, just very similar to, you have your gradient and everything's all picked out. It tells you how many watts per kilogram, the people in front and behind you, the bots that are around you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
and it's they do also have workout plans.
Yes, they do.
They
and they have
training plans. Some, like, there's an Andy Schleck programmed one. There's stuff like that, and they also have events, which is what I really like about Zwift. I like doing the races and going there. So right now, I mean, this is just for shits and giggles because, like I said, they're not paying us anything. I saw they're offering packages for 20% off, and there's a group discount for like up to five riders, and it equates out to like $50 a year.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I was like,
Yeah.
shit. Wow. Okay.
I did have a concern when I signed up. It's from the Czech Republic.
Oh.
And with my time back with when we're in the dark web, having to look, which we'll have to go back to since GCN Plus is
So
gone.
we're talking about that here shortly. Yeah. Dark web.
We'd go into this, and all of a sudden you see this ad for like, Czech sex workers and stuff in front of your screen. You're trying to find that X before, you know.
Before.
But and because it's from the Czech Republic, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh! And then you earn this currency, and a lot of that, like Bitcoin stuff. When you mine, you know what mining is.
Really?
Some of those stations are out of the Czech Republic. I'm thinking,
Oh,
what am
okay.
I signing up for? And then you earn like currency, so you can change your avatar. And I'm like going, is it Bitcoin? What am I getting signing up for?
If only.
He does sound a little old.
So
Yeah. It reminds me, my father calls me yesterday. My father lives part-time here, and he lives part-time somewhere else. And he calls me yesterday, and he says, okay, so our homeowners association is getting on us because we bagged a bunch of leaves and left them on the side of the house. And the people who were going to take him didn't come and take him. So they're calling me all the time. And he says, could you do me a favor and call a local trash hauling company to come and get him and take him away, pay him, and I'll reimburse you. And I went, well, this is the world of the internet, Dad. You can probably Google trash hauling companies on your phone, call them, and pay them to come get the shit. And it cuts out the middleman because I don't know your address. I don't know what side of the house is and everything like that. And he says, yeah, I don't like giving my credit card number out to people I don't know. And I was like, so you're telling me I'm going to give my credit card number out to people I don't know, and you're going to just reimburse me the massive credit fraud I get stuck with? I was just like, Dad,
that is
it's an
really
old thing
funny.
to do, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, also like,
no offense, Paul.
credit cards.
No, I'm old. I know that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it was so weird. So we all know that virtual riding isn't going away. Are some of you guys reluctant to get involved in the next level? In terms of racing online.
Oh no, God no.
Why?
No,
Why?
I'll never.
No,
Have you?
that's just-
Why have any of you tried it?
Yes.
No.
It's not even. It's not the same for me. The 2 times that I've done it, it's not the same. It's just a watt. Putting out watts that you can't use. There's no
tactic.
There's no.
There is a draft
tactics,
on Zwift.
because if you eat a burrito, apparently you can upload a burrito and then put a little space helmet on there or something. You get, there's that. But no, I mean, I don't crank out power. So what is it? All you're doing is just like you're just doing heavy intensity. You get behind somebody and they're working harder, and that's
How
it.
do you
and it's just
steer?
you don't.
How do you
So-
get behind somebody?
You can steer in some sense. You can steer, actually. I do have the little thing you put on your bars, and you put your phone on it, and the gyro or whatever the hell it is in your phone, you can press it, and you can change directions. You can change, go
I
change.
hate so much about this.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
It's like dumb.
I hate it.
But I don't use that racing. I
Yeah.
just go and go.
Yeah.
And you immediately kind of drift over to somebody's wheel.
I've never tried it, so I don't know. I can't say that I would hate it, but I'm not that interested in trying it either. It's not. I don't think it's going to capture anything that I enjoy about racing.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, because I don't just do it to pedal hard.
I do just to
I want to actually see somebody
suffer. That's exactly
on my
it.
wheel.
That's all that I want. And so,
Agreed.
I mean, that's why it's like I get the same joy when we go out and ride. Yeah,
But we can't ride this time of year, and this
Right.
is an
We
opportunity to
can
get.
because the weather
Yeah, we
has
can.
been.
Yeah.
A Saturday would have been an awesome day to ride.
Yeah.
But we're at the point now where we're inside, and it's an intense workout against people other than bots that you can actually, get beaten and try to hold on to somebody. You guys aren't interested in that.
No.
Not at all.
Also, I mean, I don't know. I have such a competitive drive of just, I mean, every time I show up to a group ride, I'm like, mess all you up. It's like first thing out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Whether or not that actually happens, usually not.
So you guys are just into the sport for spite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Aren't
the
you?
summer.
No.
Yeah, and in the fall,
I don't get it.
through early spring, it's for soul riding. And then just
Or getting ready to
or
spite
getting
them.
ready
Yeah.
to spite them.
Yeah.
I am daydreaming right now about the moments of
Spiting.
spiting.
ripping
Wow.
your legs off.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that shit. That's the whole. If you don't like that, I don't know why you would race bikes.
Who wronged all of you?
Nothing.
Him.
Sam. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Wow. So much anger. And I thought I was the messed up
I don't
one.
even know who started this, but whoever
Your parents, they birthed
Yeah.
you.
probably.
Yeah. And it's just
But
like
it's just
going,
one of those things whoever did this first is just always retaliation.
Did you guys sleep in the same room as kids?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
it's basically like a Thunderdome. Then. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Just throw them in there and let them fight it out.
Yeah.
They'll eventually go to sleep. Okay.
They'll tire out.
All right. I think you guys are messed up, but yeah, there we go. Hey, let's get to the part of the news, the headlines tonight. I gotta play. I let the music play. Oh yeah,
I love this shit.
That is
Hey,
good.
The end of watching bike racing in the USA. That's our headline. That's right. What could be the biggest blow to bike racing fans here in the U.S.? I know this is old news, but we haven't been on the air for 2 weeks. So, announcement from GCN came that their parent company, Discovery, has planned to shut down the GCN Plus app as of mid-December. This means that all the great live bike racing that has been enjoyed on the platform, even more if you have a VPN, will no longer be available. So, do I start with my rage, or do I just start by asking you guys how big of a blow this is?
Go with rage first. I like that. That was good.
I have the words I want to say, but I apparently
I think
used
you've
two
already
already
used
one.
No,
I've
I
used
think
two.
You
two.
used two, yeah.
Two.
Wow.
How
Yeah.
many do I get?
Three.
Three.
You know how badly I want to say it right
I
now.
know.
This is a joke. But I won't.
Better watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah. I think you're up to at least 3 too. This
Paul's
tonight.
at 2.
Sad.
Paul's
All
at
right.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's at 2.
But yeah. Anyway, it was a blow. That sucks so much because I stream that all day long at work. I stream like
Really?
any of them, and I watch them multiple times. Whatever. I stream the series that they have on.
Yeah.
I love that app.
I'm
That sucks.
assuming the movies are still going to continue on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Is
The
that what
app
they
is
said?
gone. That's
Yeah.
what well, like any of them that are
I think
out.
those
Because
were budget trainers, though.
on GCN News, Racing News, Daniel Lloyd was on there, and they're trying to figure out at what capacity they could run those series, because they have like Legends and stuff, which I adore. I watch all those
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times, like you said, and a lot of that stuff, like even the Mont Ventoux one, or traditional climbs, or how to
There's one on
train
La Vie
like
Claire.
at Belgium,
Yeah.
and those are the plus too. Of course, racing is the huge plus, but I don't know. I just hope that they find a loophole that they can start all over again.
I think that there's not going to be any more movies that come out is what it sounded like because when I did my research into it, but they're just transferring all those ones that they've done onto YouTube because YouTube is the only platform now.
Yeah.
Are they like getting rid of the app altogether,
Yeah.
or just the
App's gone.
even like the news portion of it?
Yep.
No, the website.
It's all switching to YouTube.
The website.
The website will still exist, and you could probably do on demand on their website.
What?
But it's all going to be based off the
Because that's
YouTube
clearly
platform.
like a financial decision. Apps aren't really. I mean,
That's-
the plus part of it, where they're streaming, yes, but just the news part, they're getting.
The app is tied into the streaming, and that is owned by Discovery Plus
And Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Yeah. What I really loved about the platform was actually, my holy God, almost coming on 40 years of being a bike racer. Well, it's over 40 years. I found out about races I never knew existed. I mean, if somebody would have told me, "Hey, did you catch Trobo Leon this year?" I would have said, "What the hell?" Back 3 years ago, before I got GCN. Now I found out about these races and I got hooked on them, and I was watching all these races all year long.
Yep.
But now, they're gone because what the heck are we going to do? Do we, we are proud subscribers to a VPN, virtual private network, which allows you to log in and the computer thinks you live in Belgium. It's not illegal. I'm not saying anything nefarious here, but what you're able to do then is you're able to gain access to the races that are blocked in this country. For example, the Tour de France, you can watch what used to be GCN's coverage with their commentators, and I can't go back to Phil and Bob. I don't mean any offense to any of them. I mean, Bob's been on this show, Christian's not, but I just got so hooked on their announcers, Sean Kelly. No offense to Bob, Sean Kelly's going to trump you because he's Sean fucking Kelly. Oh, there it is. There's the third one.
Well, yeah.
So what are we going to do? Do we try to pretend we live in Belgium and subscribe to Discovery Plus on their continent? Or, and will that work? Do we end up paying how many euros a month and realize we just made a massive mistake? Do we go back to...
That's okay if we do that on the euro.
I don't want to say flow bikes. Oh, no. Don't
I'd
make me
rather
go
pay
back
in
to
euros
flow
because
bikes.
the dollar is stronger than euro now.
Yeah.
So we'd be ahead.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'd be ahead.
If I can
Is
interrupt a little bit.
Eurosport can that?
That's part of Discovery because Eurosport is tied in with Warner Brothers Discovery in Europe. I can go off on big corporations gobbling.
That's
things
where
up
we're leading
forever,
to.
yeah.
That's where we're leading to.
But-
That's going to take us into our
So
topic.
that's what to me, getting back to what GCN Plus did really well, that every sport fanatic, if you love nothing but football, foosball,
Yeah.
soccer, if you had just paid monthly just for that and nothing else, you can't do that. They're all bundled up because what happened is that soccer is a big thing, so it subsidized when you have to buy a package so they can cover boxing, which is a little smaller. So you get all these unusual sports packages in there. We didn't have to worry about with GCN Plus. It was like
Only cycling.
that is a dream. That was I thought this is unbelievable, and in my eyes, that is freaking cheap.
Yeah.
What we paid for
It's
that.
like $50.
Yeah,
I'm like, double that. I'll pay it.
I paid
would
triple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
yeah.
triple that, but that's not how corporations want to function.
So where this is taking to us is into what I want to actually include to kind of the topic for tonight with GCN Plus's demise, Outside Magazine buying up, shutting off the lights of some of the great publications out there. There seems to be a major consolidation concept going on, where they're trying to get everybody to go to one place. But we're having some drastic results. Things are being sacrificed. High Velo News, High Roller, High
Cycling
Peloton
Tips.
Magazine, High Cycling Tips. I mean, all these websites and sources that are gone. So let's first try to empathize. Let's try to play devil's advocate here. There are far too many apps for everything we need, right? Can we all agree? I mean, you're going to 6 different places to get 6 different things. Was this a case of just having too many publications and not enough money, or do you think it's sheer corporate greed?
Corporate greed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is looking at, you have too many. A lot of people nowadays, because it's a worldwide this inflation rate and the economy's kind of weak, that corporations are now trying to streamline things. They have to cut out the fat or something that's not profitable, and it's all about numbers. They don't care about cycling. They don't care about soccer. They don't care about all that. They're trying to make it so they're making more money than they did the year before.
Yeah.
That's how corporations operate. They always have to make a increase on profit, or you lose your job as a CEO.
Yeah.
You have to be always increasing and making more and more and more. That's how the system works. So I think that's what happened to GCN. They got on board with they're like, yeah, you can come on board. Then it's like, oh shit, now what do we do? The economy sucks. We got to just start dumping some things.
What's this going to do to bike racing and watching in this country? I mean, does anybody have a clue? Is Discovery going to suddenly magically create this all sports app? You think they would have had it before they shut down GCN?
Mm-hmm.
Is Discovery owned by Disney?
Yeah.
I
think they're all a part of the same.
Warner Brothers is tied in with Discovery, and I don't know how that division happens in the U.S. as opposed to Europe. So that's where the European thing is.
Yeah, I don't know. It was literally last night. Kenzie was asking me, she said, "What are you going to do about the whole GCN app? Like, we're shutting down. Where are you going to watch bike racing? Because I watch it all the time." They're like, I honestly have no clue. Like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done watching, like,
that's what
unless it's
scares me.
YouTube.
I mean,
I'm going back to, like, highlights on YouTube where I just have to type in. Like, I remember when Chris Froome was breaking away on stage 18 of the Giro, and I was just watching, like, tweets. God. And it's like, now it's like we've been able to stream the Giro from beginning to end every day.
The whole stage.
How do
Not the
I
whole
go
stage,
back
but
to that? Like, I'm just kind of done. Like, it's like,
Does this even affect him?
David doesn't even watch
like,
it.
it's a total first world problem.
I'm just gonna I did watch GCN, but only because I use Sam's subscription and your VPN. So I'm just gonna wait until you
one of us
guys
figure it
out.
The doctor in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The school teacher's floating all your asses.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. And,
God.
so I'm really not that worried, to be honest, because I think you guys are gonna figure this out.
David.
For you.
For me.
For him.
Dude, Peter Sagan retired. I don't know if you know that. Yeah.
I did know that one. Okay, we didn't
He
have a
already
show.
cried out
Yeah,
about
didn't we
it,
have a
yeah.
show when that
Yeah.
happened?
No, I'm just trying to remind you that, just in case you
You're
forget.
just trying to dig it in.
I mean, because in the U.S., and I apologize to our friends and listeners elsewhere, it was GCN or it was Flow Bikes or it was Peacock. That was pretty much it. Peacock had access to the what was the organization that puts on the Tour de France in their
NBC.
series? No, the French organization that runs
ASO.
ASO to those races. So Paris-Roubaix, Criterium Dauphiné,
Flèche Wallonne, LBL.
Yeah, those types of races that they were covered. If you had a VPN, you were free to go elsewhere, but I would have watched them if I had no other alternative. So technically, we still have the safety net of those events through Peacock, but you have to be a subscriber to Peacock. So there's a fee right there. And then if you wanted some of the other races, you had to go to Flow Bikes, and I am unabashedly not a fan of Flow Bikes, especially when you've got, freaking Little Caesars commercials coming up in the last 200 meters of a race. I don't mind that they do good footage, but I mind their platform. I have a problem with their platform and how they how they cover races. It's a train
Same with
wreck.
Peacock though. The Peacock app is terrible. Like GCN was so good. It was so simple. These are the most current. Scroll back if you want older.
Yeah.
Right. And they replays what's coming out, everything. So Peacock, you have to go searching through this app, and it's you have to find the cycling tab that is hidden way underneath NASCAR or something.
I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
I think that is where we're headed.
Here's on those. So if it is Flow Bikes or that we have to choose or NBC, the problem I think if we had Bob Roll and Christian Van Velde able to not follow the script of NBC or Peacock control
and explain it to us like we're 12-year-olds.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's
so
true.
we are now spoiled because we have GCN, which is part of Eurosport, which was gobbled up by Discovery and Warner Brothers Discovery. And I think Discovery actually owns part or controlling of Flow Bikes, which means that's probably where our direction is going to go. I'm thinking.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So,
Did I say
either
that
way, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
So I think there's going to be access for us, but it was nice. It was good. And the unfortunate thing for GCN Plus was it in one day, 102 people from GCN lost their jobs.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And I
Just
can't,
like that.
I know this is going to sound bitter, and it's going to sound. I don't know if I have a reason to go back to GCN on a consistent basis. As you said, Paul, a lot of times it's the light bike versus old bike. It's pro versus amateur. It's
1990s bike
versus
today's bike.
Yeah, it's white shoes versus black shoes, and it's interesting, but unless it's on their, I might look at it on their YouTube channel and things like that, but other than that, they gave us a taste of the good life, and then all of a sudden they take it away.
It might be like when they took alcohol away from this country.
Yeah, we're going through prohibition.
We've already got it. Yeah, it's a prohibition for
Pedalbition.
cycling. Pedalbition is what we have.
Right now.
Yeah,
it's good. Do any of you guys read any of the outside publications?
No, I refuse to touch anything.
You refuse
of theirs.
to. Yeah.
The only thing I do is to register.
Yeah.
Bike Reg is owned by Outside.
Yeah, and there is
and
another.
I will not become a member. I only always sign in
Really?
as a guest.
Yeah.
I signed in, and they gave us a free subscription to Outside, so we would get it. But I don't get any cycling publications from them because they don't have any anymore.
No.
They're all gone.
They killed them.
Who thinks buying of websites like Outside did to Cycling Tips will just end up the same as our print magazines? Is that where it's just going to go? We're going to get these independent news sources, like Escape Collective, which is a good source.
Absolutely.
Like Cycling News, which is a pretty good source. But Cycling News is now behind a paywall.
Is
if
it
you
now?
read more than 3 articles, you got to pay a
Cycling
monthly
News.
fee.
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's the only way to maintain sustainability.
Well, you can't.
I don't have a problem with that, but I want mine in text. I want it in paper. I want it in front of me.
Oh,
I want a magazine.
you want a hard magazine? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind paying for that, but I just don't want to pay for something online.
Yeah.
I never like staring at a computer either way.
I would pay for a magazine too. I pay for Cycling Weekly. The problem is my Cycling Weekly issues arrive like I think I just
Months
got
later.
the Vuelta preview
Yeah.
kind of a thing, and it's like shit, this does me no good.
Oh my god.
And then the end of it's all listing of, local time trials outside of Leeds or something like that. And I'm like going, oh, cool, that's great. Hell's this do for me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I think as a cycling collective, people that want this stuff, we need to help out. Like you mentioned, Escape Collective.
Yeah.
So I'm a member.
I
I
am
paid
too.
early on.
I did too.
And they broke off from outside, and they have great journalists, and they have
They do.
great. I mean, Australians and
Their
British
podcast
and
steals
stuff.
our ideas all the time. But, other than that.
So
There's sometimes, though, where I'm like,
hey.
they're going to
Yeah.
talk about the stuff we just talked about.
Yeah. So
I'm that genius.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm that far
exactly.
ahead of the curve. I know.
You are.
It's just that great minds think alike. I guess.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
That's it.
But I think to me to support that, and they battled around. Of course, they talked about this topic about GCN going away.
Yeah.
And do you guys know who Cosmo Catalano is? If you go on YouTube, there's a few of them left over that he's able to get in. It's called How They Won the Race, and he is
How the race was won.
How the race was won.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And he is he's a master with the word. He writes up these things, and he like the Peru-Bay or whatever, or staging it, and they are funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
But YouTube shut him off because he didn't have the rights to
the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and he's a Cat 3 racer, so you got to appreciate this guy, So and then Carly Fritz and all those, they have a great thing, and they said, God, we'd love to take over, but we just would need, I think, $250 million.
Yeah.
So if we all chip in,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, even whatever they can do, I think we need to. I don't want to just. I'll get off my soapbox here pretty soon. If we just kind of push back a little bit against big corporations, and give our money to people like Escape Collective,
Yeah.
Pack Filler,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those that are not ran and controlling
Give me
like
some money.
advertisement, like this bike is the most compliant and stiffest bike I've ever had. I mean, geez, how many write-ups on these bikes? And
Yeah.
it's just tiresome.
A lot of them are a
It's
little
bad.
ass kissy too.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
because that's how
yeah.
they get their
Yeah.
money. They
Yeah.
They can't afford that, and then they get a kickback because they wrote a good
Yeah.
article about the Specialized
Yep.
SL8
Yeah.
that it's
Wahoo
got a little
is-
sniffer on the front.
Wahoo is a supporter of this show, and you just basically told them that you unsubscribed from it because you know what? F it. Let's be truthful.
That was a
about
personal
it.
thing, not
Yeah.
about the program.
No,
It's that I couldn't
it's just not
follow
your
it.
thing.
It's not my
just not
thing.
your thing. But so
I like their thing called RGT though.
yeah,
And it's
which is gone. Yeah. How is this going to affect other aspects of the sport? For example, bike brands selling direct to consumer, taking the LBS out of the picture. I know that there has been quite a bit of research done talking about where the bike shops are truly making their money, and a lot of it isn't in bike sales; it is in bike repairs. But what happens when the Giants, the Specializes, the Treks, I can't remember.
Cervelo. Which
There's
is
a group that
Pond.
owns. Yeah. What's gonna happen when they follow into the Canyon model and sell direct to
Specializes
consumers?
already.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to, and what's that going to do to the smaller companies? I actually have been looking at Allied bikes a lot lately, and I think they're really cool looking bikes. What's that going to do when what Allied offers, which is in essence direct to consumer, what happens when everybody else gets on board with that? Are we all going to be packaged into one option or two options or three options?
I think that I've worked in a shop most recently, and I was even saying back 2017 was my last year in a shop, that service is where everything needs to go. And a bike shop, honestly, I actually just had this conversation 2 weeks ago with a local bike shop. Carrying inventory is so insanely expensive
It's
for the
stupid,
space that
yeah.
you need and everything else, right? Like, your margins are not that much greater if you stock it. The only thing is that if somebody walks in like, I want a bike today,
You
it's
can't
like,
do it.
Can't do it. we're like, God, the shipping now, it's like, wait 1 week, man. Like, wait 1 week and I get you this awesome bike. But what the big companies need to do, and I think that they are maybe starting this, is that if I buy a Specialized bike, right, our local bike shop that carries Specialized bikes should get some percent kickback, right? Like, they get 20% of the sale. I have no clue, because they're going to be the ones maintaining it.
Or if the bike even got shipped to that dealer, that
They
dealer
built it.
assembles it, builds it, gets you properly fitted,
Mm-hmm.
and sends you out the door in it.
That's a
Yep.
great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that would service, that you service Giant or
Yeah.
Specialized or something, and that bike is there and assembled. That way they know it's assembled right or correctly.
Yeah, you don't have
And-
some guy with a standard
Yeah.
hacksaw cutting his steer tube.
And
It's it's just difficult.
fray out like that?
Yeah, I will say though, it's just difficult for then companies to know how much inventory they're going to need,
Yeah.
right? Because there's not pre-orders. That it's like, oh yeah, we've got all the pre-orders covered. Now let's maybe just hold another 1,000 of this.
That's
model,
true, yeah.
right.
That-
Like they have to like stock in their warehouses 15,000 bikes. I have no clue, right? That are
They're not
being
going to be
shipped.
willing to do that.
Exactly,
That puts
that's
the
my point.
expense
So they
on
would
them.
rather shove that down the local bike shop's throat.
Jesus.
So
This is all going to hell in a handbasket.
I don't think I answered anything, but
No, it's
that's where I would go with it. Is that, like, I think service does need to be what it is, and hopefully there's some kind of partnerships that can be found with it.
So what do you see happening to the smaller companies? The as I said, Allied earlier. What are some of the other smaller ones that do some of that stuff?
I think you're going to see them get pushed out. I mean, they don't have the budget to advertise. I mean, you go to the internet and you look for whatever kind of bike. Allied does not come up.
Yeah.
3T does not come up. It's all of the big bike brands. So you look for a gravel bike, you're not going to get those. And the further you get into, putting
Tier
your money
2, 3 bikes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they make it look like it's less of a bike because the advertising that you're going to see online, because you can't go into a shop, you can't talk to somebody that has experience with multiple different brands. You're just going to get what you get on Google, and it's going to be these big name brands, and they're good bikes, but it's going to push out the small ones from having a market share.
So we're going to lose our variety.
I feel like, yeah, that's
Or boutique bikes.
yeah, but I mean, I still think that, like, Argonaut's not going anywhere, right? Like, they're just this small company out of Bend, and they just have their little niche thing. And I think that, like, lots of those companies are just going to stay small and just ship individual bikes out.
Is that a sustainable front though?
I don't know. Like right now, I
God,
don't
when the
know
bikes cost $10,000 to $15,000 a bike.
Well, and I don't know right now. I bet we're going to see a huge contraction in the small bike companies in the next couple of years as everything is getting harder and harder. I mean, what was the one that just the big group that just declared bankruptcy? There was a couple bike brands that
Wiggle
Yeah.
and
No, it was a bike company.
not Bomb Track.
No.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what
Regardless,
you're talking
there's
about.
a few that just went under, and I was reading something about some that were, speculated to go under in the next couple years because they're just not going to be able to keep up. People aren't going to buy $10,000 bikes as the economy continues to decline.
Not when I can get the same style of a bike from Specialized for $8,000.
Who will always be here?
Yeah.
Right. Specialized isn't going anywhere.
It's
they're
like
hurting too, though.
It's like the custom. It's like the custom frame builders of the day. You could go in and get an absolute rolling work of art from a steel custom frame builder, but some people would go, I don't care if it's TIG welded, I can get it for 30, 40, 50% less, so they buy that. And then all these custom frame builders have gone out of business. I mean, you can rely on a niche boutique market, but if it isn't keeping the lights on,
Well, I think the boutique people have to be happy with their lifestyle, that they're not going to make tons of money.
yeah.
And that's part of the boutique and the frame builders, that to me, they were selling their passion. This is my idea of a bike. This is like, my favorite steel bike I ever had was Dave Moulton. It's a Fuso, is one of his production style, but that guy was passionate about making bikes, and he took a lot of pride, and that was part of the package.
Yeah.
Now, you could say, to even back in the day when I had that Fuso, I've never heard of that bike before. But this is a guy who used to build bikes for the UK national team until he moved to the United States.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's why you go to these niche and top end stuff. And I think they can survive. And I'll use an example is like, I can't blame some of these companies that sell out to larger companies. And I'll use beer since we all like that.
Oh yeah.
There was a brewery,
got me.
Elysian.
Mm-hmm.
The guy starts this brewery. He's passionate about it. He's got these great following and everything. And it's developed this great niche, and it's expanded past, Washington State, and everybody's got this desire for it. And he's tired. He's been doing this for a while, and he offers it to, the people of the company, and they just can't get the money together. And so Budweiser comes along and says, I'll buy it, X amount of millions of dollars. That's his retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't blame him.
No.
But
And
then
a lot of
everybody's
breweries
mad
have done
because
that. Red Hook did it. All
these
those
people.
breweries,
Well,
yeah.
even what started the U.S. IPAs was Grant Brewery in
Yeah.
Yakima in the United States.
Yeah.
He was the first one to bring back because he wanted to do that back in the early 80s, maybe late 70s. Well, he sold out to Budweiser. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing when so personal connection, wife's father-in-law works for Anheuser, and they'll take over companies and they'll brew some of their most common beers. They're taking the burden off for the things that like they already know that the public wants, and it frees up those brewers from this like Elysian that was at one time a lot smaller to do the thing that they love.
Yeah.
So in the bike sense, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you sold out and then that person could recoup their passion to release new frames or new styles that they're passionate
Gary
about.
Fisher,
And
Keith
that's-
Bontrager, Joe Breeze, Tom Ritchie. Yeah, all purchased in essence. Well, not Tom as much, but
he's still going.
via Trek. Via Trek, it gave Gary Fisher the opportunity to focus his career on PR and development.
Right.
Keith Bontrager didn't create helmets.
Yeah.
Isn't that his thing? And so now his name is on helmets. I doubt Keith is making anything off of that, but
I'm sure
yeah,
he is.
It's this
Because of his name, gets a
unless he
percentage.
sold.
Yeah, well, getting back to your point, like Elysian, the thing is once a big corporation has a tendency to water down. Like they keep and they say, okay, this particular, let's say their particular IPA that sells really well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, through time, they said we can make this a little bit more profitable if we add this ingredient or
High
that's what
fructose
happens.
corn syrup.
That's what happens, and it waters down. It's a slow process, and it's not the same thing.
Freaking
that's
orange
before.
wedge on the side of it.
A Blue Moon.
God, I see that. I was like, ooh, Belgian ale. Let me try it. What's this orange on here
Yeah,
for?
that's not
You got to have it on there. And then I taste it, and I'm like, no, I don't. You don't even have to. God, that stuff sucks. That stuff's
Yeah.
terrible. It's like why people put lime in Coronas. Because Corona sucks. It's
frog
terrible
piss.
beer.
He loves it. And
You
he loves
do?
Modelo.
Modelo, yeah.
Yeah.
Corona,
That's different.
Pilsner.
Do you know Modelo is one of the top selling beers in this country?
That's
Yeah.
because the whole thing, right, with the Budweiser did some bad PR, and then it turned into Modelo.
Does this have to do with the whole
They like
trans
endorse,
person?
yeah, they endorsed.
That's why people went to Modelo?
Yes, that's
God,
why.
we're
That
idiots
is
in this
when
country.
Modelo became the world.
We
the
are
number one
so
most selling beer.
That was the
stupid in this
crappiest
country.
tasting beer in the first place.
Okay,
People
well,
were
com-
only because it was an
Yeah.
American. They're
Yeah.
associating with
Neger
it.
Modelo
yeah,
is
yeah.
good. Neger Modelo is good. But anyway, so I always thought having a larger variety was a good thing, and now we're basically everything's being slimmed down to this one or two options in terms of our media, in terms of our our sources of information, in terms of our here we thought that when the internet was created that all of a sudden we were going to become so much more global, and I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but it almost sounds like we are global, but that reach is becoming funneled
Yeah.
in terms of where we're going to go, and we're going to lose out the element of being able to obtain these niche brands, these small things, these cool little websites, these heaven forbid podcasts that have been around since 1999. Hi,
this is
things like
going
that.
nowhere.
No, exactly. I'm just going to keep buying you guys beer, and we're all going to die here.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
I've been having a very similar conversation with several people recently, and I think this whole thing, right? Like we're all steering towards corporations, big stuff, because Amazon. I want it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna do a pack fillers links, and,
right?
And they're all gonna be Amazon links,
right?
Yeah,
and it's like oh my gosh! In the last week, I've probably ordered 5 things from Amazon because I'm like, I need this. I don't want to drive across town. I'm gonna have it show up my doorstep. I admit to my fault.
UPS delivery guy once said to my wife when he dropped off boxes, he said, "See you tomorrow."
I love that. But I would say that I think this has been coming for a long time because we have chosen the easy way. We have chosen, for the quick fixes, all of that. But I now do think post-COVID that we are getting more hungry for person-to-person interaction, supporting smaller businesses, stuff like that. So. I do think that is the case. And so I think that in the next 10 years that things will start to reverse and go more towards that.
You really do?
I do. I really do. Because I think that we are
think
missing out on a lot of the interpersonal pieces of community. And I think that we're going to want that back.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And self-checkout, it drives me insane.
Yep.
Because
I never choose it. I always go up to somebody.
I have to say the only time there's times where I do, it's when there's a long line.
Yeah, that's the only time I do either. And if I have 8, 12 items tops,
then go to the short aisle, right? The one that
the
has
express.
the express aisle.
I try to, but there's a lot of people because there's the one that's right up over here that I
there's
see him
always
every once in a while where he dodges. He goes.
I don't dodge you.
Yeah.
I just don't see
But
you.
they got a lot of locals and they'll sit and chat, which is okay. And
Yeah.
I want them to do that, but I don't have the time. So that's when I go to self-checkout.
Yeah.
But even if it's I don't know these people, it's that, how you doing today? Did you find everything? Just that interconnection of humans as opposed to beep, beep, everything's beeping. And
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
God,
it's no
I'd go
good.
for the self-checkout.
You would.
Yeah.
I'm just so...
Well, you're burned out on people.
Yeah, I get so much interaction at work. I'm just I don't want to talk to another damn person. Give me a machine, please.
Yeah, but you don't think that it's nice when
Is this
you've
how you're
had a day
trying to
like that
develop
and
your
a cashier comes up to you and it's
Bedside manner is shit.
they're just like, how is your day? They
So,
ask you, how are you doing?
I go to the little market up there by my house because it's close, Rocket Market, and that's a small...
Yeah.
It's not even a grocery store, really, but they have groceries. And I know everybody that it's nice.
Yeah.
When
Right?
They have a lot
yeah.
of vegan shit.
Yeah, that's why we go. They got a lot of vegan shit. They have really good beer.
Yeah,
They do.
have
They
a
have
good
great
beer selection. Yeah.
Except
that's
they
why
don't
I go.
have St.
Nope,
Bernardus.
nope.
Yeah.
Everybody here
They have
chimes in.
Inger.
They do.
They do.
I
It's a
know.
great beer
It
selection.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, my wine of the month is up there, and I don't drink any of it because I don't drink red wine anymore. And so my wife, basically, I bring her home every 6 months. I bring her home a case. She's like, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm like, it cost me a fortune. All right, let's shift gears since we didn't solve any problems. We're going to get to our segments of the show. First one, Sam, I promise you have a bumper coming. But we're going to just have to use the regular one for now.
That's cool.
But because Bike Fits, Fit Tips with Bike Fit Sam, brought to us by our friends at ambassadorcycling.com. Get on there, get fit to get fit, and you will not regret it because it's not just something you do once. Bar height adjustment. Is that what we were going with? Paul and I are from the, I think you said slam it, bitch, a school where, we grew up racing against, little guys like Kirk Willett. And if you didn't have your stem all the way down, you couldn't even dream of catching a draft off the guy that small. And so we were always just slam it. And then, now you understand why he and I both kind of stand up at the end of the show and go, that kind of a thing. Arrow wins over everything, which is like our last show. So talk to me about bar height adjustment and why, it isn't just a one-time set and it's all done with.
Totally. And it does change. Mine changes in the winter. I raise mine up a bit, right? Take a little bit of pressure off.
You
low
do?
back. Yeah.
Really?
And then You do the same thing.
No, because
you don't now
I'm
because you cut it.
Yeah, I
But you
slammed
used
it.
to.
Cut it and slammed it. Cut it against your advice.
Yeah, against my advice. I'm like, you might want to raise this. Cut it. All right, fine, whatever. Anyway, so if your bar height, if you find yourself with this pain in the middle of your back, it's probably because your bars are actually too high. And so what we do is we lock out our elbows and we kind of sink down into our shoulder blades, right?
Wow, okay.
And so that's what you're doing because you're trying to get a little bit lower. You're trying to lower your torso down. So that's usually if the bars are too high. If they're too low, what ends up happening is we call it scapular protraction, and that's where your shoulder blades come forward and you get a lot of pinching in the front of the shoulder. And that's just because you're rounding them forward, trying to push yourself back and away because your bars are too low. And like if you think about it, right, everybody wants their bars low because of aerodynamics. You can get lower. I promise you. If you
bend your elbows
and get I can kiss the top tube if I really need to.
Yeah.
But then most of the time, if you're in a competitive event, you're drafting, unless you're me or David.
Oh yeah, because you guys are always
Because we're just always trying
at
to
the front.
Yeah.
until the end of the race, and then we're off the back.
Which I was going to say, which is about as,
We still haven't learned the lesson.
which is not very
It
tactically
doesn't
brilliant.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are way smarter than us.
Yeah.
We just get out there and I'm like, I'm going to kill you today.
Yeah, you're the dogs that they send out after the fox.
Yes,
kind of like that.
It was very much a bash on us.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I would say most of the time it's spent drafting, right? And so you want to be in a comfortable position there because then when you get to the front, get down low,
Yeah.
right? So I just depending upon if your bars are too high or too low, pain in the back of the shoulder blades, right? Like in the mid back, or pain in the front of the shoulders is going to tell you whether you're too high or too low.
And I know I've talked to you incessantly about hand numbness issues. Is that a bar or is that more of a saddle?
It totally can be saddle because if the saddle is not set up properly, then what ends up happening is you don't want to be sitting in the saddle and you put more pressure through your hands.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be that, but a lot of the time it's where you're weighted. And so you're maybe too far forward in your bike and pushing down on the bars, but it also could be that you're too high. This is where it's so important to get a bike fit. I mean, it's like somebody could say hey, I have hand numbness, and I would say, okay, check your saddle, right?
Yeah.
Fore and aft, that'd be my first one. Check if it's too high, too low, and then I would also say, where are your bars at? Are they too high or too low?
And third, just don't masturbate so much.
If you're Pat,
it's
get
carpal
some
tunnel.
better balance between your shoulders, anterior and posterior, and
So
don't
you
just be here all day.
Oh, okay. So that's a shoulder weakness issue thing again. God damn it.
You need to do your exercises. God, we do joint mobs on you. You're like, I'm free. And then you just stop doing it. It's like,
Well, because you were supposed to fix it, and
That's
then
true.
it didn't get fixed.
Because you didn't do your exercise.
Yeah, in one
Like
visit.
me.
Yeah, I know.
I might need a refresher on those exercises.
Yeah, we
because
should-
I remember
we'll go over
I remember one or two of them.
That's
And now I'm
gonna be a-
God, he gave me 9 of them.
That's going to be a whole podcast topic.
Yeah.
This is like you
yeah.
went to your doctor and they gave you a med, and
Yeah.
then you came back and you said it didn't work, and they said, "Did you take the med?" And they said, "Well, no."
Well, I take the meds.
That's truly.
That's
I
easy.
did for a day,
Yeah.
and it didn't
Yeah.
fix it.
It didn't
Yeah.
fix it, so I stopped. So
Yeah.
Take the meds.
yeah,
Don't get me started. I think my current med's causing tinnitus too. So yeah.
probably.
Probably.
med?
It's my
Look into the laundry list of side effects.
Statin.
Mm.
You're on statin?
Yeah.
Is that what you put on
Genetic
people?
cholesterol.
I think it
Yeah.
was, oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I have slightly elevated LDL. And so I've been on this medication for probably, this has nothing to do with cycling, for probably about 3 months. And my tinnitus has become quite obtrusive. Like constant, 24/7. Yeah. 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 That's
Oh,
my
that's-
life. That's my life
That
right now.
sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I have to do white
It-
noise. I have to do white noise in my
you
ears
should
at night.
try
or I
it.
won't sleep.
Ask him for a different one.
That's what I did.
It's like 50.
Yeah, I did try for a different one, and I'm going to find out. Hopefully, it helps.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you know why my headphones are so loud.
What?
Speaking of David, and we swifted to metal. So Sam, don't get mad because
He's got one.
he's got a bumper.
Of course.
So
He hasn't even been here long.
Hey,
as that.
look. I've been here longer than you, and I don't have a bumper.
Paul doesn't have a bumper.
That's true.
Except it was, hey, young guys.
Paul has this one. Yeah.
You boys best keep sweating.
That is Paul.
More sweat the better.
Sweat the better, boys.
Literally indistinguishable.
Yeah.
No, David's. I'm supposed to talk over the top of it, but we'll just let it be as it is. You know.
Listen to that.
It's like true, like Pink Panther, James Bond,
I dig it.
like all of it.
This is the first time I've heard that, and that is awesome.
That's your bumper.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
need that to be my ringtone.
And who does that?
that's
Lance?
I keep forgetting Lance's last name.
I put
Put
you
him
on the spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah. Well, I know the name of his company is Emotive Audio Agency, and we have that link on the homepage at Pack Filler, so you can check it. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, Lance has done all this. He did the original theme too, and he's writing us a new theme as we go. Tonight's Dr. David, the concept of heat training. Now, when we talk about heat training, are we talking about like adding heat to your body, or are we talking about like suffering through heat to get used to it? Does anybody have any?
Well,
I think it's suffering
Paul
through.
kinda brought
I think
this
it's
up.
hopefully I
suffering
interpreted
through.
your question right, but what was your
Well, that
intention?
is a source that a lot of pros are doing. Like after a long training ride, a lot of them will actually go into a hot tub afterwards.
Oh,
Even on hot days, they'll use like hot situations, and it's supposedly, and he would know better than me.
David's like, I thought you were
helps
talking
more
about
on the
eating
plasma
jalapenos.
side, produce plasma, or helps do something with the plasma or something with the blood. And they use that in terms with also altitude. Some people react to it better than the others,
Wow.
but some people have to use heat training or use both heat training and altitude. So
Okay.
Interesting.
Was that where you were
I mean,
going?
that's kind of what I interpreted it as. I mean,
I was
didn't-
thinking of the original days of like Eddie Merckx putting his rollers in the sauna. He would. Seriously.
Seriously?
Yeah.
that's
Or
basically
that's
it.
kind
though.
of what I'm
or
getting at.
like
It's
this summer of Paul not turning on the AC in his house before he went to nationals
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know, he's
And
got
my-
to suffer,
That's what I was ready for.
gain that tolerance.
The hot tub thing, not so much.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, heat. Well, heat would be like that almost like I'm thinking of like a hot tub would provide that blood
It's-
flow and recovery type of a thing, wouldn't?
I think
it?
that I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why I threw it out there, and it was kind of one day thing. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if you do any follow up on that. What teams are doing, but they're finding like Mads Pedersen uses that. Like
Really?
he'll go out like on a 8-hour, 6-hour training ride and goes straight into a hot tub.
Oh my
So,
God.
I think that there's like the fact that you're bringing it up with altitude training is that's exactly how I would see it being used. Is that think of like altitude training, you're stressing your body in a way that it's not typically stressed. There's less oxygen content. And when you go and race at a temperature that you're not used to, like you in nationals, heat also places stress on your body that you haven't trained for. So there's, although they're small studies, because everything in exercise science is a pretty small study, they look at like what happens when you expose somebody to 104 degree heat, and then they measure VO2 max, cardiac output, TT effort, so like the amount of work that
Do you have a VO2 max if you're dead?
no no that's
104
zero.
degree heat. Go out and ride.
Yep, zero.
Yeah.
So there's like as your core temperature increases by 1 degree, your VO2 max can decrease by like 16%.
Wow.
And it is documented that you will have a decrease in cardiac output, and that you will have a decrease in your power over like a 20-minute TT. But there's also evidence that if you do like a 9 to 12 day acclimation period, like you do with altitude training, that you can mitigate some of that. And it's the same thing. You're just trying to acclimate your body to dealing with the added stress of heat, which causes your blood vessels to vasodilate. It makes your body unable to dispense the heat as it needs to as you overheat with exercise. And the more that you expose yourself to that, the better you'll be at it. I do wonder with the hot tub if it's a little different though, because that heat will vasodilate and get more blood flow to the
Well, it could be.
I don't know. I didn't, unfortunately I didn't actually get to prepare on that. But there are several small but good studies that show that if you go to nationals, you went a few days early.
Yeah, I went a week.
So they say 9 days minimum to acclimate to the heat, so that you have the least amount of loss in your VO2 max and your TT effort and your cardiac output. But if you go from this environment to Atlanta where it's hot and humid, you will see a drop. So
I went 7 days, so I missed it by that much.
yeah, you missed by 2 days. You would have won nationals with those additional 2 days.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think a hot tub's a good idea after a bike ride, though. You know, I think it feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you playing the vocabulary game, the word of the show is vasodilate.
It means they get bigger. Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah, do you guys anymore?
Yeah.
Hey! Occasionally.
A little assistance.
Chemical assistance.
A good
from
stiff breeze usually helps.
Yeah, exactly. No, come on, we're not dead.
Not yet.
Yeah. So finally, we're
Medications for it anyway.
Yeah. We're going to move on to Pack Filler Picks. It was Sam's week this week for the picks, and here we are, throwing money at Jeff Bezos. So I guess, if you want to go to the website, we have these links on the website. If you want to go someplace other than Jeff Bezos, I guess we're fine, but
if you don't want to pay for his penis that goes into the sky.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're not paying for the beer in the studio if you don't. So Sam came up with 3 picks, and I'm going to take them in order as you sent them to me. First off is the Physique Argo Vento R1, really well named.
How long?
I mean, that just rolls off the tongue.
Let's call it the Argo Vento R1.
They can't even spell physique.
Jeez. Yeah.
Stupid Italians.
Well, you're on a Physique, aren't you, Paul?
Yes, I am. The best saddle they've ever made.
Look at the pulsing when I go between two different saddles. That's how my ass feels on several rides. So Sam, obviously this is kind of up your alley, in terms of.
Whoa!
It is, and it is literally up my alley.
I really thought you were gonna.
God, the pervy pills hits different, huh?
God.
And so
It's a saddle, people.
You know who turned me on to this saddle?
Who?
Ted King.
Really?
Yes.
You talked to him about it?
No, he made a post about it years ago, and I was like down the hunt. I'm like, I need a saddle, and so then I tried this one. I did the sizing thing, the machine that I have, and I tested this one out. It is awesome. But yeah, so this is a carbon railed saddle for $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, does that not blow your mind? Most of the other companies out there, like large companies, you're getting like an alloy rail cheap saddle for $150, right? Yeah. $150, and this is, I just put it on my road bike, so I needed a new one for my gravel bike, and I put this one on my road bike, one on the other. And I'm like, this thing is so much lighter. So get your fit,
really,
right? Try it out. I'm telling you, it is a killer, comfortable saddle.
What makes you choose between 140 and versus 150 millimeters?
Yeah, your sit bone width. So
sit
bone
width. I've got it probably on the printout you gave me, but I
yep,
don't,
and so usually if you take your measurements and it's 120 roundabout to like 125, 130, that's going to be in that 150
what are you
range.
Measuring?
Your ischial tuberosities.
Okay.
Sit bones.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the bones in your ass.
The bones in your butt.
Okay.
But yeah, try that out.
I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Not your iliac crest.
You're 140.
Yeah. I am.
You shit sheets. I'm not kidding you. You are true. I'm telling you, you would probably ride like a 130.
Yeah, that's why I like the saddle.
You shit sheets.
Jackson is a 150.
He is.
He is.
Really?
He's wider than you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember we measured both.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like and that's what you can't tell, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, not from looking at my ass.
Yeah, God, you should be like riding a 170.
I almost need a backup beeper.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he's coming right right for us.
Children, look out!
That's not a bad price either. That's actually
Isn't
a really
that
good price. That's a
fantastic
really
for a
good price.
carbon saddle?
Yeah. So your next pick, and you are big on this brand.
I
had
love it.
never heard of Supercaz.
Yep.
And I think you did tape.
Yep.
Last recommendations.
Yep.
This is a bottle cage that right now is $13.
Yeah. It's cheap. Like
It's not carbon. It's poly.
it's poly, but it's honestly almost
Who
just
gives
as
a
light
shit,
as carbon.
really? Yeah.
I have those on all my bikes. I love them, and they hold the bottle so securely. I have bought the alloy version of this, and honestly, the only difference I would say is like if you're a commuter, then maybe do it because you can like tighten it for like holding a thermos. But I think that the alloy the poly is better.
Isn't Supercaz
Supercaz.
Peter Sagan
Yeah,
endorsed?
it
Just
is.
saying.
Oh.
That's why I use it.
You're going to get it
Gotcha.
tattooed on your forehead?
Yeah, Peter Sagan, not the Supercaz.
Yeah.
They have a full store. I mean, yeah.
It's a
that
full
price
store.
is insane.
They have a ton of great stuff, but I'm telling you, and I also use their top caps. Love their top caps. They're pretty blingy.
What
And
is that
they're
Supercaz
Arctic.
there?
That is.
They're
Yeah,
A
they're
red
all-
cage is $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who would put a red
Yeah,
cage on the
I
bike?
wouldn't. Yeah, that's
Or
true.
blue is $5. Yeah.
You get a red, white, and blue for $23.
Wow.
I don't know where you're gonna put the third.
Your gravel bike.
Thank goodness
Your
you did
gravel
the
bike,
math.
yeah.
Who knows what it would come out of it?
Hey,
$22.
52 weeks a
Yeah.
year.
52?
I knew that the whole time.
22, because
Okay.
53.
That's why you like us.
It is.
You invite us over. We drink
am
your
a-
beer. We eat your Skittles.
I know.
Sometimes your chips
And your whiskey.
and your
And
whiskey.
drink my whiskey.
God, wow. This is really a one-way relationship.
This
Yeah,
is
pretty
What do
much.
you get out of
an
this?
abusive relationship. And this one I have a problem with.
All right. Tell
But,
me your problem.
although I don't have a problem with the price.
So do you know why I chose
Are you
these,
just
though?
did
Is it the
everything you
price?
picked was price point?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I have
Let
no-
me
I
say what it
don't
is, though,
care.
for those people who aren't able to see it online because I had the wrong camera up anyway. But these are Shimano Ultegra R8000 SPD XL SLXL. God, people, just name them like the Shimano Ultegra
Are these your
Billies.
dumb long axle pedals?
Oh.
Get normal hips.
If
know?
you're a
Nice.
girthy boy like me,
I don't know.
You horse ass.
Girthy boy.
Horse ass.
oh, go back and listen to all the other
How old are you,
podcasts
Sam?
for that.
I think it was 32.
Oh my gosh.
Who wants a sugar cube?
So
He does.
I chose these because they have the +4 millimeter axle, right? So it's a wider axle width for if you have wider hips, right? So like normally what we would do is in the past you just move your cleats all the way inboard on your shoes and that widens your pedal stance, right? Sometimes maybe you'd add a couple washers, but that can only go so far.
Yeah.
Shimano and then Speedplay also does this. They really
You're not a fan.
they pissed me off,
Oh.
and I'm just kind of done with them. But
Wow.
Speedplay also offers that option. And so anything that has like that multiple spindle widths, I do have gripes with this one in particular too, because like the actual body of it wears down, and then you get this play in them.
Sure.
So I understand that, but I'm just talking from a fit standpoint, which is my world.
I have
These are
never
awesome.
thought of
You
Q
need
factor.
them.
spindle width.
Yeah, you
I've
need
never
wider.
thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you'd benefit from it.
Problem
and
is,
you're
I'm on a power pedal,
Italian-
though. I'm on a power pedal.
Yeah, tiny little Italian power pedal.
Why are you using it to power pedal? Just get a
Spin a power crank.
per crank, you know?
Because
It's
I
3
bought the
times the
pedals.
price.
Yeah, I've out of the power pedals.
Yeah,
I'm,
brother, just
I'm
here's
pouring beer
God,
down
you
your
are
asses.
so
Not last.
you are
well,
the
that was,
like
that was poorly
the
stored.
classic. Yeah, I know. We're not
Yeah.
butt chugging here, all right?
Yet.
yeah.
Next beer mile. Speaking of which, the beer mile video is coming out. Jack.
Oh, wow.
On that. So
Nice.
yeah.
But
Maybe
like,
that's one of his modules.
It's modules.
I think that like they're super beneficial to have. I think that if you have wider hips, try them out.
Okay. And at that price of $145,
For a carbon pedal.
I don't know what the weight is listed on there. That's really
So let me
freaking-
ask you this: how do you, as an individual, determine how wide a pedal's? If you don't have, let's say, somebody who lives in Reardon, Washington, who doesn't have access to your business there
Yeah.
for a fit.
So if you want to be really good about it,
Mhm.
drop a laser down the middle of the pedal, right?
Oh yeah,
And-
everybody's got a laser.
know.
Pew pew.
Okay, here's the thing. How many of us have lasers for like lining up whatever, down the wall, right?
In Reardon, they all have one of those like.
Yeah.
lasers
Well,
for-
that's because they're on the scope of their AR-15.
Yeah, sure.
okay,
line
yeah,
that up.
Laser pointer.
Yeah. But so if you have that, line it up down the middle of the pedal and watch when you're spinning. If you just look down and if your knees are tracking outside of that laser, right? It's not going just straight down the middle of your knee the whole time around the pedal stroke. We call this V-twinning at the top. It's where your knees come out,
Okay.
Kind
then
of like a martini glass V20. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
brought that
Or
back.
maybe because
That's what we call a callback
yeah,
joke.
Let's circle back to last podcast
Okay.
when we were talking about penises. Because
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
you have a
I
penis that you
missed
need to
it?
clear.
You missed it.
Yeah, you missed the
We were
penis
talking
stuff.
about Pat's penis.
No, he doesn't have.
How? You need new friends.
I do have a gigantic hangover penis.
Sorry, that one felt bad.
That one hurt me.
I feel guilty about that one.
Everywhere I go, I have a documentary announcer. So it's like, and the penis is woken up this morning.
It's just that the peas
Notice
went so
this
well together.
massive size.
Yeah, and not P and Paul,
the
but P and
penis.
Pat.
Oh, I missed
Yeah.
that.
No, that never come to mind.
You need new friends.
Yeah,
I need friends.
Yeah.
but he keeps buying us beer. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
great.
Showing up.
Yeah, it's just my enabling group. Come on over. Tell me how much of a shithead I am.
And poke my penis.
My son is one of them too. I mean, how
Yes.
bad are
He's jumped
my
on board.
parenting skills? Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
He used to brew beer with the yeast that his penis used to produce underneath.
How did I miss
Just
this?
lift it up and just scoop out the yeast.
Oh, that's so gross.
Could you imagine the sour?
That Rogue made a beer from the guy that got yeast out of his
Stop.
beard.
Stop.
Beer- Yes,
That's not.
Rogue beer.
I will never drink another Rogue beer.
Well, that
ever.
was just that one particular one. But yeast is yeast. You know, if you think about it, what's the alcohol? That's the shit of yeast,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Just shitting out alcohol.
Yeah.
So
What?
Yeah. Anyway,
I gotta find my scream.
but yeast is a good thing. Bread, beer.
Yeah. Panis.
No, that's not a good thing.
I've never heard the
Yeah.
term. Anyway, so okay, so those are some good picks, and those
you.
are all on the website, and they're affordable. Which
They
is
are
interesting.
affordable. That's
Finally,
what-
finding something in the sport that actually doesn't cost you. It's like,
All of my
My
picks.
wife, I was just like, can I put this saddle on every bike? She goes, you already have a saddle on
Really?
all the bikes. I was so stoked. I've never found a saddle for that cheap.
you asshole! You
I
got me
literally bought
hooked
it
on
through
a
that
specific
link.
saddle,
I know.
and I like
And,
it.
but it is cheaper.
That one is.
No, yours is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was.
You tell me I'm a
was
cheap
a-
piece of shit.
No. I'm saying that you only had to pay a third of that.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay,
like,
okay.
affordability wise, you haven't really
Sure.
lost anything.
No, I like this.
But you should try that.
I have a physique,
140,
the same physique saddle on all my bikes, even my commuter.
right?
There you
Really?
go.
Yep.
It's the best saddle
It's
ever
the horrible.
created.
Yeah,
Horrible.
there's been so many times,
It's like the
you know,
nose
that
is this
you
long.
Torture
find
device.
you
About that
find
wide.
a saddle. You find yours
yeah.
is like right on the skinny end.
Well,
of
for
a
him, it'd be
baseball
like
bat.
me
Literally
sticking
on a
his thumb up
fence
his
rail.
rail.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just, might as well sit on a fence post.
Yeah.
Well, his
Or
ta-
have
his
you guys
taint's
seen
the
that
si-
saddle?
His taint's as wide as his
I know.
hips.
I
Yeah,
can't
so,
remember.
yeah.
Have you guys seen that saddle that came out that has this big black horn in the back of it?
Yes.
Shut
Oh
up.
yes, I get you.
What I can't remember what the name it is, but it has so
You
you
guys
can
look up
put
some
pressure
weird
against.
shit.
Well, it's got to be a joke.
It's in
because-
social media.
Yeah, it's got to be a joke, but it's this big black horn in the back so that you can put pressure against the pedals when you pedal. Wait until you see you pull it up. It is.
Is this going to get us
No,
deleted
no,
off
No,
of...
no, because pretty much everybody's talked about this.
Yeah, it was all over social
Yeah.
media for a while there, and I
Yeah.
can't find it. It's
Yeah.
not going to show.
we can just
I don't know,
just
some
repost
kinda-
it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
A horn or something like
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna,
It is stupid.
You start Googling that stuff, and then the algorithm finds you, and the next thing you know, you're arrested again. I mean,
Again. Dang it. I'm a teacher, too.
Oh my
It's
god.
going to go against my CV.
yeah, this is exactly. This brings us to our mellow finish music because he's
love
given me
this.
a couple outros, so I don't know if this is the one or if this is not the one. But hey, Lance has given me options. You notice the static in
it.
the background to it.
It's good.
So, hey, you guys, that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. For those that celebrate Happy Thanksgiving, what are you guys contributing to the meal?
Stuffing?
Drinking
Drinking?
Focaccia.
Will there be any bike time
Yes.
Yes.
in the morning.
in the morning of Thanksgiving Day?
Yep.
Yeah.
No turkey trot. It's going to be
No.
turkey trainer.
Yep.
Turkey
See, if
trainer.
we all had a Ruby subscription, we could go on together and do.
Do you want to do this together?
I would do it.
You got a 14-day trial period. You guys can try it.
Well,
But
no,
we
I was
could all
saying
do
we
a
can all, like,
5-person
actually
group.
do an in-person trainer ride together.
Just saying, might not be a bad idea. There we go. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. For all who celebrate Happy Thanksgiving, don't talk politics at the table, although it will save on Christmas presents spending if you do. Like, subscribe, play along, shop at packfiller.com. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks.